Being a beginner in Darktide can sometimes be a daunting task, whether it's a case of you're not sure what to do with your money, your teams keeps yelling at you, you keep dying, or the enemies don't die. I'm going to go through a few things on this video that basically I see time and time again new beginners make mistakes on, and we're going to hopefully cover off now. If you do like the video, please like and subscribe. Saying that, let's get into it. Okay, so the first and honestly possibly the most important mistake I see constantly being made by new players is not staying with the group. Darktide is a heavily team orientated group. If you do stray from the group, it does punish you quite heavily, as well as your team trying to rescue you at the same time too. If you are meeting a quiet point of the game and the group splits up a little bit, just make sure you know where everyone is. If you do hear a pox hound audio or a catcher audio come up, you should immediately move back towards your group so that if you do get captured, they're able to rescue you nice and easily. Another very important part of staying with the group is that each of the levels is normally broken up into segments. And once your group moves from one segment to another, especially if you're dropping down a level and you can't climb back up, if you're not with the group when they go down and something incapacitates you in the previous section of the level, you're basically stuck there and going to die. So when the group does move down with them. Second mistake I see beginners making all the time is never looking behind themselves. So within this game, it's not going to be the Plague Ogring, the Daemon Hosts, or the Swarms that are going to do the majority of the damage to you across all the levels. It's going to be that one minion that stands behind you and your companions, stabbing you in the back now and again. So it is very important, as soon as there's a lull or you just take damage but there's nothing in front of you, you should be killing or looking behind you at all times. The same with your companions. If you see any of them have these little dregs behind them, kill them as soon as possible. Don't wait for them to notice it. It will save all your team a lot of damage on both the toughness and their health. While also keeping an eye on what's behind. Just so you know, if you do hear the noise of an incoming blow but you don't see the blow because it is behind you rather than in front of you, if you block anyway, your block is 360 degrees. It does take more stamina to block a blow if you're not facing it, but you will actually mitigate it with the block instead. The next mistake I see beginners making all the time is not marking targets. So this is a case of sometimes it's the middle mouse button, so I actually recommend rebinding it to another easy to click key on your mouse. But what it does is it creates a red highlight around an enemy, normally a specialist or an elite, and it just basically prompts the rest of the group that that is a focus target, or maybe that is a difficult target that you can't deal with. It's also very good for highlighting anything on the floor like items or Medicare. The next mistake, and I see it all the time, is not meleeing when you should be. So if you, for example, have your gun out, you're enjoying it, you're shooting away, and an enemy gets close or something somewhere just starts hitting you, do not just stand there. You should immediately have your weapon out, your close combat weapon, and you should be blocking, dodging, and killing with it straight away. Do not stand there, keep blasting away, assuming your companions are going to take care of it. As soon as you see you're in that type of situation, immediately pull out your melee weapon. The next mistake I see beginners make all the time is not blocking, not dodging, and not pushing. So this is a common mistake to make when you're at the lower levels and you can pretty much just attack from the beginning to the end of the levels, but I assure you, as you start getting into the higher levels, it is crucially important that you are always dodging, blocking, and pushing whenever you can. The dodge is incredibly effective in this game, whether it's just going backwards or side to side. The blocking is fantastic too, where you can actually follow up with a free attack. And at the same time too, if you do decide to push, it's a fantastic way to dodge push. You are actually staggering your opponents, which basically means they're going to take more damage as well. It's excellent for clearing some space. So those are all the big mistakes I see in the public lobbies. If anyone has any others that are kind of like general hints and tips for beginners, post them in the comments down below. Otherwise, I hope everyone has a great day and enjoys the launch.